Okay. So I guess just like dive in and share more about what
Yeah,
it
so we'll
is.
start with kind of like what I do and why this started, why this idea of the Women's Womb Healing Summit. I used to have a lot of medical conditions, hypothyroidism, endometriosis. Thank you, Crystal. Borderline type 2 diabetes, fibromyalgia. I had 26 broken bones before the age of maybe 25. I was in a coma. So I had a lot of physical trauma and a lot of emotional trauma. So my path to wellness has been literally a series of unraveling and undoing basically all of the stuff that's happened to me physically and emotionally. I never knew that pain free was possible. I always was looking for less pain. So it was like, what can I do to be in less pain? I made diet changes and things like that. And then last year, after I got my breast implants removed, I started to actually not feel any pain. And it would just be for like an hour or for like a couple hours. And I was like, wait, hold the phone. I didn't know that pain free was possible because I was told endometriosis is for life, fibromyalgia, they don't know what causes it. So no one knew how to get to the bottom of symptoms I'd had for the last 10 years. And hypothyroidism, like they could give you Synthroid, which I stopped taking in 2009, but they couldn't tell me how to fix what's going on. So I finally took control of my own health. And that's why the Women's Womb Healing Summit, because I said, wait, if pain free is possible, I have to tell everyone. Like everyone needs to know that we talk about our business, we talk about like transcendence and our spiritual path and doing all this cognitive therapy for our mind, and we talk about fitness and we talk about wellness, but we don't really talk about how the body stores trauma and the subconscious thought patterns, the way that they physically manifest, and how to unravel everything. Like, where do you even begin if you have hypothyroidism and endometriosis and ovarian torsions like I did? So, what I decided was I'm not an expert in everything. I know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff, but that doesn't make me an expert in everything. And so I said, I want to bring together all the experts and I want them to share this information because I didn't know how many women weren't aware that a lot of their symptoms were either coming from birth control or from surgeries, scarring, adhesions, or problems with their pelvic floor, things that could be treated. And that's when it really went off in my head. Like, we're uneducated about this. Yes, we have the internet and access, but there's not one location for us to kind of cross reference with women that have, most of them, dealt with whatever thing they're teaching about, which is why they got so into it, became doctors or therapists or physiotherapists or coaches or doulas or whatever. We have like a full gamut across the board in this summit. And I just said, I want to share their stories too. Even though they're not getting into their stories in a lot of depth, it's so that women can actually see someone that used the techniques, not someone that read about it, not someone that just said, you know, this is what you should do. Hi, Tanya. So, as I was putting together the summit, I wanted a good collection of doctors and licensed therapists, as well as women that maybe their fields are not recognized by modern medicine, and to kind of have a crossover in that process in really diving into both the physical ramifications of not only our traumas, but our stress, our diets, and how we can start to dismantle some of those things. Because, and if any woman is listening and you resonate with pelvic pain, severe pain from PMS, endometriosis, fibroids, extreme fatigue, adrenal fatigue, most of this stuff is not coming from one thing. It's coming from a collaborative effort of multiple things that have happened to you and that are happening to you, and what you've consumed and your environment that you've been in. So anyone can check out the link to see all of the experts, because they literally, there's one woman that's a wellness expert named Nikki Sharp. She's known for, I mean, she's got hundreds of thousands of followers. She used to be a supermodel. Arthritis too, Kelly, for sure. That's another discussion. That was a big one for me. And so, but a lot of people look at Nikki because she's so thin and go, well, she doesn't know what pain is. She doesn't know what it's like to be overweight. Because she was an international model, she had two eating disorders. So she had to go through the same process. She had terrible skin. She had other internal issues because of the emotional things going on and the way she was treating her body. So it's like, we know we need to practice self-love. We know that we need to expand our spirit and grow and go to therapy and get the cognitive things and have a coach. But where, when we at least have one place that we can see it all in front of us and you can hear each thing and you go, I didn't consider that. I didn't consider checking that out, or that resonates. You feel it in your body. When you start seeking out other answers, not alternative, just other answers, even from doctors that are trained in the same medicine that you have already gone to a doctor in. Not everyone is up to date on what's going on, new studies, that kind of thing. But your body will tell you. Like, you will literally have a moment that you'll be reading or hearing someone and you'll feel it in the pit of your stomach that you're like, wow, what is that? That's what I want people and women to start diving deeper into, is our instinctual intelligence, our body intelligence. That part of you that if you're walking down the street and a car was coming, you would get out of the way quickly because it isn't your mind. And if that's how our instinct functions, what else is going on underneath that we aren't hearing or that we don't know that our body is trying to communicate? Pain is a communication. That is our body telling us something is up. Getting constant yeast infections, PMS, bad cramps, these are signals from your body. It's trying to tell you something. Now, is it trying to tell you something about diet or stress or whatever? Only you can actually figure out what the cause is. You may be able, maybe the cause is a deficiency, you need more magnesium. There are specialists that can unravel that, like ready-made books for $10. You just didn't know. So in the summit, I'm going to share you so that you know. Because honestly, especially in this group, there's so many women with incredible stories and they want to make a difference. Like, I can see you. I see how many of you have this deep calling, and I can also see how much physical pain there is holding you back. And for anyone that's known deep physical pain, and even like on a molecular level, like your soul hurts, like seriously, like microorganism in your being hurts. You cannot fulfill your purpose. You can't get to where you're making more money and showing up so that you can hire the coach that you want to, so that you can scale. Your energy's not there. Your physical pain, your emotional pain because of physical pain and how that taxes us, that gets in the way of everything. Gets in the way of our relationships, our partnerships, our children, our purpose, you name it. So I decided that I have to help women to get pain-free so that you can change the world. I can't do it by myself. I know Stephanie can't do it by herself.
I know.
But
We say that.
Yeah. And we don't want to. We want to be able to like Steph created this group. We have other incredible women in this group that we are actively waiting for you to step up and take our hand and like, let's do this shit, man. That means my job is to get you out of pain. Stephanie is going to help you shift your mindset and start really reaching bigger. We need more women in the circle. We need more of you to come forward. And that means if you're in pain, I will do everything in my power to get you free of that pain. I don't have all the answers, but I have 22 experts coming to one place that will cost you nothing to attend. Now, if the dates don't work for you, there's going to be an option to buy the summit. Plus, you'll get all the audio downloads. So you'll get the 22 hours of classes, all the downloads, plus bonus content, plus coupons from manufacturers for things like fertility monitors, menstrual cups, like things that is good for your body. And it's going to be $150. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, as inexpensive as I could make it and still cover the back end costs and the fact that I'm putting in like 16-hour days. There is no team on this. And if anyone wants to be a part of the team, by all means, like, let's do this too. But I got tired of waiting. We always say, and this is a language thing I want everyone to really think about. Even when we're communicating our message, we say, we need to change something. There are changes that need to be made. Start saying I am going to change things. The moment that I took responsibility for my place in changing shit is when it started to evolve into this summit. When I was like, man, we as women need to learn and we need to be educated. I finally said, I'm going to teach women. I'm at least going to give them the platform to learn. That's all that I can do. What they do from there is up to them. But I'm tired of women not knowing that many of their symptoms are from their birth control. I'm not saying we shouldn't have birth control, but the fact that we're not educated about potential symptoms so that we can at least try another form of birth control, or we can finally, as women, master our cycle. I have been off birth control for 5 years now. I was terrified to even think about that before, so I would never tell you to get off birth control. But for some women, it causes severe depression, rage, anxiety, weepiness. It throws off your instincts because it's changing your chemicals. Now, you might find one birth control works for you better than another. I just want you to know that if you don't feel like yourself, it's because you're not yourself. You are being chemically influenced by an external source. If you're just getting some headaches, say it again.
I have a question.
Yes.
So is it possible for people to know, or for people to not realize that they're in pain?
Totally. If you're future focused or you're thinking about the past and you're not in your body, you actually have disassociated or can disassociate in such a way that you don't know your inflammation is high. You don't know that there is aches and pains because you've gotten used to it. You just got used to it. I didn't know how much was going on in my body until there wasn't.
That's what I meant, because I remember you said, like, after you got the explant and stuff, you started really like realizing.
I thought I had a shoulder injury forever, and I was rehabilitating my shoulder as if I had injured it. And then I got my breast implants removed and my shoulder was fine. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that. There was another woman that was sharing her story the other day in another group. She took out her breast implants and her allergies went away. She didn't take out her implants because she thought they were a problem, or as some women are saying, breast implant illness. She just took them out because they were 17 years old and it was time. She decided not to put new ones back in. That was it. She didn't think there was any problem. And now in retrospect, the second day after she woke up, these allergies that have been plaguing her for 17 years were gone. And it's because when your body is busy having to protect itself or detoxify something or protect itself, it lowers your immune responses. It taxes your adrenals. That's why clean food is important. If your body is busy breaking down toxins, it can't regenerate. It can't recover. So just making one lifestyle change may not do it if your body is in a lot of unrest, in a lot of dis-ease, which means you're going to have to change. That's how I discovered that my implants might be a problem for me. And mine were 14 years old. So I said, it's time. They tell you should remove them or replace them 8 to 10 at the max. So I was like, all right, it's time. The fact that I saw results after that that I recognized them was because I'd already changed my diet. I was already exercising regularly. I've been doing plant medicines and shamanic practices to get to old trauma wounds, and I've done past life regression type things. I've gone back to save that little girl and take her into my arms, and I've done that. There was nothing left. And that's what you have to do with your health. You have to start keeping track. You've got to have a checklist. We have a checklist of how to make our body, or to get our business to the next level. We don't do that for our body. Aside from, I want to be 18% body fat and I want to lose 10 pounds. Like, screw that shit. The thing is if you will deal with what's really going on underneath and peel back the layers, you'll actually discover that the problem is not your weight. And once you find out what's actually causing either the inflammation or the emotional unrest, the weight will fall off. Because when you start to feel better, you will start to treat your body better. But it's understanding there's going to be a balancing act at first, because you're going to make changes and it's not going to feel good because your body's not going to know what's going on. It doesn't have to just be food.
Like adjust.
Totally.
To the new habit, like a new habit.
It doesn't know what good feels like. We literally get trapped in a discomfort that is comfortable for us. We all do it. And it's just that we become more aware when we're doing it, and then we have the choice to change that. That's the difference. Because we're always putting ourselves in some form of discomfort. Not sleeping enough, sleeping too much. If we sleep too much, I should have got more stuff done. That's uncomfortable. If I didn't get enough sleep, I'm depleted, I'm tired, that's uncomfortable. But when you get clear on what you want your experience to feel like, you start to align it and go through that list. Man, I've had headaches forever. I'm going to see what headaches could come from. Man, my fibroids started at this point in my life when I was in a toxic relationship, which also led me to eating toxic foods, which also I was using really chemical ingredients or like cleaning things in my house. So here's the things I can start to tick off. I'm going to start eating cleaner foods because that's the best place to start for some women. Also, if you're empathic, you could be more empathic or more sensitive to chemicals in general because you're already sensitive. Something we don't consider. If you're sensitive to energy, why are you not sensitive to chemicals? You probably are. Which means try just changing your cleaning products 1 month. You can clean with vinegar. That costs nothing. Changing whatever you need to in your life doesn't have to be expensive. It's how and tracking it. If you're writing down every morning like, wow, or before you go to bed, I had a headache today. You see 3 days in a row you have a headache. Where's the pattern? Because if you just keep going to specialists, they don't have all the information. Without all the information, they can't accurately pinpoint it.
That's a cool thing that you just said, like checking things off.
Yes.
Do you have like a journal? Is there like a journal?
Girl, do I. So that's actually part of what I'm going to be launching for myself in the future, probably in May, is I've been designing a body tracking book so that every day you can check in because it's got questions where like almost graphs where you just color it in. How stressed out are you? What is your love life stress? Or like your relationship stress, your family life stress, your money stress, your job stress, and your physical stress, like your workout. Are you putting a lot of pressure on yourself? Because that will tax your adrenals and your system as well. So when you start to keep track, so the long story short, I'll share more in like May because now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to physically print it. I love digital, but this is not something to digitize. You need to see it. So
this would be really cool, like to sell it on Amazon, like
totally
a cool body journal. I could see
that's it's literally gonna have one picture of a body where you can X where there's like pain, and then scales of like in a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being no discomfort or 1 being no discomfort in your head and 10 being the worst. Where is it today? And then in seeing the answers to your questions, what life attributions could be also contributing to that? Or did you eat something that day you don't normally eat? You don't have to keep a case by case, like super strict diary if that doesn't work for you, but it's a start. If you had just queso, and you don't usually have queso, write that in the book because it may not be cheese. It could be stabilizers or preservatives they put in food to ship it. And only you can figure that out. But it could change your life like this. You might find out you have no problem with meat or dairy. It just depends on the quality of the ingredients or the absence of certain chemical stabilizers for you. This is how I discovered that I can't have stevia extract. I mean, I can, but it gives me a headache, just a slight headache. But it was the only thing, like it happened a couple times. And I was like, well, it can't be stevia extract. And then I had it one day when I had eaten exactly how I always eat with nothing extra. It's not about cheating, not cheating. I don't subscribe to that. I knew exactly what I would eat, what I had eaten, and what things don't bother me. I had some coffee with stevia extract. This was in October or November. And I got a headache after, and then I got nauseous. So I wrote it down, and then I puked for 2 hours on a boat in Thailand, which was not awesome. But the next time that I tried stevia, I got a little upset stomach, and I was like, wait a second, the last time I had stevia extract in something was that coffee. And I just thought I was sick. So I went back, and the sensation was the same because I'd written it down. So instead of thinking that you need to adhere to a lifestyle, consider that you just need to identify what products or what ingredients don't jive with your body. You could find out that you could have donuts every freaking day and you feel awesome and amazing. Probably not, but hey, could happen. But that you can't have something simple like stevia without getting a headache. So that's exactly why I'm going to put out this body book after the summit, because there has been no system I have ever seen in how to track all this stuff down, because I had so much to track. And if you don't check in every single day, you don't realize how bad it is until it's really bad. Till you're going to the chiropractor or to your physical therapist or to your acupuncturist because your sciatica is bananas out of control. Why? Because you've been stressed, financially stressed out, not feeling supported. Your back started to hurt, which pulled it out of alignment. And then you started to walk differently to try to cater to it a little bit, create an imbalance. Now you have a herniated disc. So again, that's a whole other thing. So this was the long version of just, if you're struggling to identify, your body is always speaking to you. She has been trying to talk to you for a long time. And honestly, we have treated our bodies like complete shit. Even if you've eaten well and worked out regularly, that does not mean that you are nice to her. Because I have watched, and Steph, I'm sure you have too, because Steph and I have both been fitness instructors, how mean people are when they work out to themselves. You can see when someone can't complete a move or they're working around an injury, how hard they are on themselves. Just because someone looks fit does not mean they are mentally fit, which is why, in my opinion, in my experience, healthy people have heart attacks because they are stressed. Their body is stressed, their mind is stressed, their soul is stressed, and usually their stomach is jacked. So I love when those people come to me and they say, but I eat clean. I don't know why I have IBS. I'll tell you exactly why you have IBS, because you're not cutting yourself any slack. You're not being kind to yourself. Even in the subconscious things that come out of your mouth where you trip and you're like, I always do that. I'm so stupid. I forgot my keys again. I'm such an idiot. Your body, when it hears you say things out loud, is like, sure, I'll affirm that. No problem. We always trip. We always fall. We always get hurt. It's as you wish, master. Befriend your body. Stop saying that shit and start dismantling what you've been told. I'm not saying you should not see doctors or anything at all. But the thing is doctors are not going to be able to figure everything out for you because they don't have all the information. And you're staying future focused or past focused, not present in your body. Your body is the experiential vehicle in the moment of right now. Your soul and your heart can travel anywhere. Your body is never anywhere, but right here. So if you don't stay present in what your body is experiencing, it will affect how you feel pleasure and how you experience every single emotion, because this is the sensorium to which you feel. Your spirit doesn't feel. Your body feels. That's the chemical release of the hormones and the different elements of your body that make it awesome. So come to the summit. Stephanie put the summit. This is just the beginning. We talk a lot about the womb area because, ladies, this is your power center. And I say womb because it has nothing to do with whether your uterus and your ovaries are intact. It doesn't even matter if they're there. The energy of who you are as a feminine entity is there. You may have disconnected from it, and your body may still be hurting from scars and adhesions from C-sections or past womb traumas or appendectomies. Anything like that can cause physical pain because of scar tissue. Look it up. Doctors don't tell you that because it's not their job. That's your job. Okay? An awesome doctor will tell you. What can I say? So, thank you for, that was like the longest, I went on like a really long rant.
Excited for this. I'm really like looking forward to it and looking forward to learning more about it. Like this is...
Listen, when you get, when the loss of a child, for sure, Kelly, you can have that feeling of loss, still that sadness trapped there. And it also is holding, if you, depending on what you believe, holding the energy of that child there, if you're unable to let it go. And the sadness and the loss and the fear of losing things can then physically manifest in your body and block you from happiness and joy because of there's this like this clenching, grasping feeling. And there's women at the summit that are going to talk about that as well, that are doulas and working with women for infertility, because there is a lot wrapped up in emotions. And we don't even have to get into the woo-woo stuff about new agey things. If you talk to any fertility doctor, they tell you you need to relax, you need to have fun, you need to have sex with your partner in a way that is enjoyable, not in a way with so much pressure. That is emotion. So these women that are coming to the summit are not just doctors. These are women who are coming from such an amazing heart place to help you have the things you want to have, to experience the joys in life in spite of the sadness or despair that can accompany it. Steph and I talk about this, that you can be two emotions. You can be happy and sad. You can be joyous and have despair. I have despair for the world every day, and I have hope. I have sadness and I have amazing. We are not one emotion ever. That's why I don't believe in manic. I believe in us there being a connection issue.
I was just telling someone, like, maybe I'm manic.
Listen,
because I'm like this crazy artist mind.
According to any psychologist or psychotherapist, I am hospitalizable for sure, because I've had bouts of rage that would be far beyond manic, where I have to be physically contained so that I don't hurt myself. My path has not been an easy one, but that has been by choice, because I thought in order to deserve happiness, I had to earn it. And the second that I let go of having to earn the right to have flow and joy and still just be me, I'm freaking crazy, man. I love that shit. If I took away my crazy, I wouldn't have created this summit. No chance. Because I would have been too afraid of pulling off something so crazy by myself, never doing it before. So it's like, honor those parts of yourself. If you'll connect to them instead of hide from them. And it's a process. And there's this one woman you're going to meet in the summit who is all about skills, not pills. And she's going to tell you about it. And she's freaking awesome. And this is someone that's been hospitalized and pills and all this stuff. It is not easy to finally take a look at yourself and all the things that are finally feel like they're catching up to you that haven't been addressed. So it can be scary. And you don't have to do it all at one time. And I'm not telling you to go off medications. Medications are there to help you cope for a period of time. But if you become reliant on them, it is going to also directly impact your ability to connect. And if that's better for you than the what's not you on medication, that's fine. This is your life. This is your choice. And to experience it however you want to experience it. But don't settle. And I promise you, and I believe this with my whole heart, that when you connect to your body in that place, you unlock a whole other level of instinct, flow, and ease, because your receptors are open. Too. Totally. It's like, you want to maximize manifestation, get the magnet together. It's not just the energy of your soul. Our bodies are energy. There's a reason why someone walks in a room and you want to talk to them. When your body is in that place and you want to talk to it and you want to be with it, so will everyone else. So that's my message. My public service announcement.
That was awesome. Guys, you got to sign up for this. It's free, right? Well, yeah. For those 3 days. So there's a link in the comments. I'm really looking forward to it, Kole. Like, seriously.
I am. Listen,
there's so much that I want to learn now.
I want to learn, man. Like, how am I going to change the world if I don't even understand how my body works? You don't have to be a master of it. But if you'll master your body, if mastery just becomes master me, we'll really change shit up. Because if you could look at your client and instead of just asking them about their mindset and ask them about their life set, what else is going on in your life, not just in your mind, because your mind can also be a trap. And if you haven't processed trauma stuck in your body, even if your mind has processed it, your body isn't on board yet. So.
Totally.
Yep. I'm going to leave it with the last, my favorite quote, and that's, if you mind over matter, all you do is prove how little you matter to you. And when I say you, I mean your body. We want to push. We want to excel. We want to reach these high levels in the next level of our business. If you don't pause for your body right now, you're going to hit a wall, and it's never a pretty wall. It's a thyroid issue, Hashimoto's, stomach problems, fibroids, you name it, your body will start screaming. And if it's not already screaming now, you're lucky. Don't waste any more time. 6 months from now, where do you want to be? If you attend this summit and make some little changes or take something away from it, which you will, it is impossible for you to not watch this summit and take nothing away. It's impossible. So you could be in a totally different place 6 months from now. It took me 7 years to get here. I can help people get there in 2. That's still a long time when you're in pain every day, but the time's going to pass anyway. So let's do this.
That's like my ending quote,
I know. So let's freaking do this.
Time's passing anyway. Let's go, guys. Come on, let's fucking do it.
Let's go. If we want to really change this patriarchy, man, then we got to first like figure out the dis-ease in our bodies.
Totally.
And then we'll sort this world out, man.
Thank you for sharing all of your awesomeness and all of that information. Seriously.
My pleasure. I love you, Steph, and I love everything that you do. And it's been a huge gift to watch you grow and watch the group grow. And it's an honor. So I love you.
Oh, thank you. Well, guys, go sign up if you didn't. I didn't say much on this, but I was the designated liker.
The hearts.
Liking everyone's comments.
Oh, nice.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. If you have any questions, if you're watching the replay, you want to chime in, if you have any questions for Kole, comment. She's always really awesome at getting back to people.
And share it with your friends, guys. Like we don't talk about this stuff. We have to normalize the conversation around our reproductive organs and the everything going on, because our sisters, our mothers, us, our children, if the conversation doesn't start now, it never begins. So let's freaking talk about this shit.
And spread the message like wildfire.
Wildfire! We're going to burn this mother down.
All right. Well, thank you, Kole. I love you.
I love you, girl,
so much.
Thank
you guys for joining in. I hope you all have an awesome night. Bye.
Ciao.